They say every stringed instrument tells a story, a tale woven between notes, a saga entombed in its hollow body. But what if the story it played for you wasn't meant for human ears? Gather close, beloved listeners. A rare instrument awaits you with its dreadful symphony, one born from darkness and betrayal. Let me take you to an unassuming little shop, where an antique violin steals both the heart and the soul of the unwise. Meet Eleanor, a struggling musician chasing a faraway dream. You would think her pale fingers, calloused from hours of diligent practice, had earned her talent by now. But somehow, Eleanor's spirit refused to imbue her art. Each note she played fell flat, dull even to herself. Her aspirations rested perpetually out of reach, and with the rent piling high, the shadows of failure loomed, gnawing at her resolve. On a fateful evening, almost as if the air itself knew her despair, she stumbled upon Orpheus strings and curios, a shop she'd never noticed before. Its scent was musky, filled with the whispers of time. Uneven shelves displayed a menagerie of battered lutes, dusty sheet music, and bows skeletal with age. In the flicker of candlelight amidst the gloom, there stood the violin, a hand-carved wonder so hauntingly beautiful, it almost seemed alive. Its body gleamed a red so deep, it reminded Eleanor of vein-twisting rubies. In its reflection, shadows danced unnaturally, teasing her peripheral vision. Carved into its scroll was the head of a serpent, its fanged maw slightly open, as if breathing softly alongside her. Despite the faded price tag tied to the strings, Eleanor couldn't help but run her fingers along its polished surface. As though hypnotized, she whispered aloud, "How much?" That's when she noticed the shopkeeper. He had appeared without a sound, his face gaunt, eyes abyssal but gleaming. Predatory, maybe? His voice slithered, wrapping itself around Eleanor's uncertainty. "An artist must deserve such a masterpiece," he crooned, his thin lips curling unnervingly. "Do I deserve it?" Eleanor asked, instantly regretting the vulnerability scratched into her tone. "Perhaps, but mind the melodies you awake. This violin hungers for passion. Its appetite thrives on devotion." He stroked the serpent carving lovingly before continuing. "No need for coins. Play it. That is all I require." Eleanor suppressed her urge to question the cryptic conditions. But hadn't she always longed for a chance? A boon to lift her above this mediocrity-ridden existence? Her trembling hands accepted the violin, its ethereal weight surprising her. For once, it felt right, like it was molded just for her. That night, Eleanor performed an impromptu recital in her dim apartment. Yet, as her bow caressed the strings for the first time, it was not her own trembling music she heard. Instead, her ears caught something foreign, an ancient tune mourning through her fingertips, as if the violin had its own story to tell. The melody clawed into her chest, suffocating her airways with despair darker than any she had known. Sunken faces, their swollen, wet eyes flooded her mind. Eleanor gasped, but did not stop playing. Hours passed as the red violin summoned its tempest, and though her body begged for rest, she simply couldn't put it down. Her neighbors heard the haunting, otherworldly music spiraling out through the walls. Phones lit up in the shared corridors with frantic whispers of divine or demonic. In the following days, Eleanor's reputation skyrocketed. Audiences poured in to witness the phenomenon. Wherever she appeared, tickets vanished within minutes, not for her own name, but for the echoes of the Serpent's viola. Each performance entranced those unlucky enough to listen. Her knotted melody dragged within it despair, love, terror, and beauty indescribable, until tears streamed freely down their cheeks. Yet Eleanor herself was unraveling. Virtuosity didn't mean freedom, my darling ones. Bruises she couldn't explain bloomed around her hands and neck, as though they'd been clutched by unseen spirits. Her nights were plagued by sharp, burning dreams of slithering shadows, drowning screams mingling with her violin's music. But of course, her grip on reality fractured whenever she confronted it. After all, the thousands clamoring her name drowned out her sanity's cries with sweet applause. One particular evening, Eleanor practiced alone inside a candlelit concert hall. The applause dimmed moments before they began. The violin almost purred, its serpent scroll glowing faintly now against her fingertips. Its strings gleamed, sticky as if slicked with an inhuman knowing. Any sane part of Eleanor rebelled below her weary tone. "Stop! Just stop!" a voice shrieked inside. Never had an object owned her so completely. Ignoring the hollow ache, burrowing where joy once hid life, she voiced aloud trembling questions. "What are you? Who made you?" She waited. The room offered its reply, but not with silence. Rather, the glow shifted, and a raspy, mournful hiss began emanating from the violin itself. "Why did you ignore my warning?" The serpent carving blinked. Yes, blinked, with dark, watching malevolence. Eleanor's shriek stifled, lost beneath the object's sheer intensity. "Years ago, I was carved by hands blood-encrusted in betrayal. Music became prideful, greedy. Those that captivate flesh must endure penance paid back tenfold." The voice grew louder, curling like a shadow leaving its physical shell. Eleanor's arms locked, the bow now dragging furiously upon itself as though possessed. Faster, heavier, until her skin broke. Crimson trickled harmlessly down the glossy wood. She screamed, powerless to do more than bow eternally after the same phantom notes through scabbed fingers. By sunrise, her chair sat motionless before hundreds more empty spots in that desolate, guarded amphitheater. Remember, my dears, instruments may compose beauty unparalleled, yet nothing whispers louder than anguish-woven pitch. Eloquence hardly resurrects Eleanor's fate tonight, does it? Now, pay heed next time your predator sculpts songs merely as offerings that mask contractual chains, unless you feel prepared to add your sorrow.